vision it, and courageous enough to enable it. That is precisely what I hope this book will do. Jumpstart your imagination to envision the possibilities that lie within our reach. Ignite your optimism to believe those possibilities are achievable, and galvanize your resolve to pursue them, knowing that failure to do so will likely result in an unacceptably bad alternative future. Challenges is a catch-all euphemism these days intended to capture the cascading crises that have shaken the very foundations of societies across a broad swath of geographies, cultures, and demographics. This book will trace the fault lines running just below the surface of these seemingly unconnected realities in an attempt to better understand why we appear to be so mired in social discord, unable to move forward with common cause in the common interest. But as we all know, though diagnosing the malady is necessary, diagnosis is not a cure. Unlike many other contemporary volumes, Roadmap to a Brighter Future is not content to stop at admiring the fire, that is, taking the view of a passive bystander. Rather, my ambition for listeners of this book is that they will come away understanding where we are and why we are there, while appreciating that we've been in equally or even more difficult straits before. In the words of the late poet laureate Maya Angelou, how do you know where you're going if you don't know where you've been? At the same time, my hope is that this book will not only help listeners powerfully imagine brighter alternative futures, but also equip them with the prescriptive propositions that need to be employed to realize that future. But in today's breathe-your-own-exhaust world of alternative realities, finding consensus around any proposed destination is tough. If you don't trust the map you're reading, or as my kids are more likely to say, the GPS you're following, and you don't even trust the navigator's ability or intention, then you can hardly get to where you need to go or expect anyone to go along with you. So the task of restoring what has been for much of our history a quintessentially American pragmatic optimism will be neither easy nor quick. We begin that process in this book by digging through the layers of sediment that have obscured our vision, sapped our confidence, and diverted us from addressing chronic and fundamental problems at the center of today's crisis in confidence. To repeat what should by now be painfully obvious to most, Donald Trump was not the cause of our ills, though he surely exacerbated them in many devastatingly pernicious ways. Rather, we as a nation, along with many others around the world, have been on this slippery downward slope for the last few decades. While elites were cashing in on the fruits of technologically induced, policy-liberalized global integration, much of the rest of the world was barely getting by and actually falling further behind. And this divide, both within and between countries, was low-hanging fruit for populist demagogues and their loyal followers prepared to carry out their will no matter what. So restoring trust in our systems of governance and in the commitment and ability of our leaders to restore the accessibility of the American dream will take time. Getting the buy-in across various national divides needed to implement the propositions advocated in this book, however practical and logical they are, will take skill and hard work. Anyone expecting a quick turnaround is delusional. As Thomas Edison reminded us, vision without execution is hallucination. I thank you for joining me on this journey outlined here. I hope you will find the reasoning compelling, the vision uplifting, and the propositions necessary to reimagine and realize that vision of a